Good evening and welcome to the Nightly News, brought to you by St. Rose Television at the College of St. Rose. Today is November 18, 2019. I'm David Meister.
And I'm Leanne DeMartino. Let's get into this week's news. This week, we will be talking about the 10th anniversary of the Pine Hills Library, Hubbard's open house, in our own words, return of the Pine Hills Review, and the reveal of the 2020 Relay for Life theme.
The 10th anniversary celebration of the Pine Hills Library took place on November 16th. Although the branch has moved locations numerous times throughout its history, the Western Avenue spot has proven successful and has been well received. Many community members take advantage of the resources provided by the library and plan to continue to patronize it well into the future.
Hubbard Interfaith Sanctuary was home to the first Office of Spiritual Life open house that took place last week. The event was complete with speakers, vendors, and time to think about spirituality. The day of openness in the sanctuary capped with Coco with Coco, a newer Disney movie that addresses belief and afterlife.
The second In Our Own Words took place last week, and the night was filled with support and awareness. The event aimed to inform people with the resources present locally to help them and those they know who might struggle with addiction.
The Pine Hills Review returned after a brief hiatus. The publication, helmed by Meister, looks to give a voice to the vibrant and scrappy Pine Hills community. The review is rather open to publishing works by women, non-binary people, people of color, and LGBTQ folk.
Relay royalty was crowned last week, and during the event, some special news was released. The 2020 Relay for Life theme is Hollywood. That means that this spring event, that is usually tied to Trifecta Weekend, will feature tables themed to the starry California city.
Now let's go to SRTV's meteorologist, Chris Weiss, to tell us what to expect for weather for the rest of the week. Here's to you, Chris.
Thank you, Leanne. So let's get right into the weather. We are not going to be having the best week, but don't worry, I know we can stick to it. So starting off on Monday, we already know we are expecting showers and they will continue to go throughout the night. But as the temperature drops, we are expecting the roads to get icy, so please be careful. That will continue into tomorrow as we get snow, but don't worry, it will hopefully clear up by Wednesday and Thursday. Unfortunately, we are expecting those showers to come back on Friday, but have no worries because by the weekend, we are expecting them to go away and we'll have a nice partly cloudy weekend to ourselves. Now, let's head back to sports with David.
Thank you very much, Chris. Let's get into this week at sports, and a big one at that. Both the men's and women's soccer teams entered this week on the doorstep of history. They both qualified for the NE10 tournament and looked to raise the trophy. Starting on the women's side, they entered the tournament as the #1 overall seed, which means they'd have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And their chase for the cup began last Sunday, the 10th, against the Pace Setters, and they came away with a 4-1 victory. All 4 goals came from different members of the squad. The semifinal round pitted the Golden Knights against the Bentley Falcons, and they edged out the win 3-2. Senior Ava Frazzoni got St. Rose out of the gates in a hurry with a goal in the first minute, but the Falcons answered back to tie it. The Golden Knights would then score 2 unanswered, and the defense stiffened to clinch a berth in the title game. That championship match pitted the Golden Knights against the Southern Connecticut State Owls. It was a back-and-forth game with both teams exchanging goals, and overtime looked imminent, but just 10 seconds left in regulation. Off the corner kick from senior Morgan Burchard, freshman Sana Rain headed it into the goal, and St. Rose would hold on through the final seconds to reclaim the NE10 crown for the first time since 2014. The Golden Knights set a record in their victory with a league-tying 8th conference postseason title crown. And not only does this trophy cap off an amazing regular and postseason run, they'll now take this show on to the next level with an NCAA tournament berth. This will be the team's 2nd straight year and 15th overall appearing in the Big Dance. The men's team entered tournament play as the 6th seed, and we already saw them advance on penalty kicks last week in the quarterfinals against Southern New Hampshire. The semifinals pitted St. Rose against the Franklin Pierce Ravens, and they won yet again in another penalty shootout. Senior Neve Fogel delivered the dagger that sent the Ravens packing and punched the Golden Knights ticket to the finals. The final matchup put them up against the Assumption Greyhounds, but their run stopped there as the Greyhounds hoisted the trophy after a 2-1 win over St. Rose. The Golden Knights were down all match, but sophomore Filippo Bellew got one across in the 87th minute to make it a 1-score game, but they could not muster the equalizer in those last few minutes. The bitter end, though, should not overshadow their accomplishments this season. The team reached 10 wins for the first time in program history with a final record of 10-6-4. That's all for sports this week.
Well, that's all we have for the nightly news this week. To the viewers at home, thanks for watching. I'm Leanne DeMartino.
I'm David Meister.
And I'm Chris Weiss.
For more information on any of our stories, take a look at the Chronicle of the St. Rose newspaper, both in print and online. See you next week.
Have a great night, everyone.
Until next time.